Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in for a little bit. Now listen to me. Something that's been on my spirit and something I've been dealing with, even just with working with my clients and things of that nature. And I actually wrote a quote about this, and I can't remember the way it's worded, but it went viral. And essentially, it's saying that we can't be a prisoner to our past. And maybe if you Google "prisoner to my past" Tony Gaskins, the quote will come up, because I can't, it's slipping my mind right now. But here's the thing that we suffer with so often is we live as prisoners to our past, or we keep others as prisoners to their past. And that's what we have to be set free from, because that honestly puts us on a loop in our lives that it cripples us, and it doesn't allow us to grow and to move forward, to change, to heal, or to be whole. And so when you think about this, it's you have done some things in your past, you've been a person in your past maybe that you're not proud of. And if you keep reminding yourself of that, if you keep telling yourself that, then you will continue to repeat the same behavior, because you put yourself in a box and you say, that's all I am, that's all I can be. And then if someone has offended you, if someone has hurt you, and you won't let them grow, you don't give them room to grow and to change, you are forcing them to be a prisoner to their past. And if you keep throwing up in their face who they used to be and what they said yesterday and what they did last month and what they did a year ago or 5 years ago, they can't see a better way. They can't see a better future. They can't move forward because you keep triggering them with who they used to be. So we have to come to the place to where we learn to forgive ourselves and we learn to forgive others. And forgiveness is painful. Forgiveness is painful. You know, it hurts to forgive. It hurts to let go. It hurts to change. But it's something that we have to do. It's something that we have to do because we can do it. And this is something that we don't necessarily understand. We don't necessarily grasp it, out the gate. But when you come to this place of forgiveness, you actually free yourself. You free yourself from that bondage mentally, because it's really in your mind. It's not even in your body. It's not really in your life. It's in your mind. And we'll just go on that loop and we'll repeat the same things over and over. But when you take and you say, and I've had to do this, Tony, you are not that person. Tony, you're a good person. Tony, you got a good heart. Tony, you worthy. You're enough. When you take and you say those type of things to yourself, you free yourself. And you stop trying to control every situation. You stop trying to, obsess. You stop obsessing about things. You stop thinking too hard and worrying too much, because you've relinquished that control. You let that go and you let things flow, and you say, I'm going to operate from a place of love. I'm going to operate from a place of peace. I'm going to operate from a place of confidence and wholeness. And I'm going to be who I'm called to be. And when you do that, that's when you free. And here's the thing. It's always going to be little tricks on your mind. It's always going to be little things going on in your spirit that's going to affect you, that's going to bother you. It's always going to be triggers. But what you have to create is you got to create some words or a phrase that jolts you. You got to create something that reverses or inverts those negative thoughts and feelings that you have. And so when you create this process and understand that you are your first coach. You are your first therapist. So you got to be able to coach yourself. You got to be able to work with yourself just in case you can't reach somebody else or you can't afford it at that time. You got to be able to do this. So whatever is being said in your mind, you got to say the opposite. You say the opposite, and then you pause. You take some time. You take some time and you sit on it. And if it's somebody you can text, if it's somebody you can call, if you have an accountability partner, if you have a coach, if you don't, go to mymentor.life, not .com, mymentor.life, and book you a coach. Talk to your coach. If the coach $25 an hour, then ask the coach, hey, how much extra would you charge me to have text access to you for just when I'm in a rut or I'm about to do something that I shouldn't do? I could shoot you a text and I could sit still until you respond to me. And so now when you put these measures in place and you have this system, you say, okay, do nothing, say nothing, don't react, don't respond, don't do what you want to do, what you normally would do, until you're able to talk to your accountability partner. And when you speak it out loud and you say this out loud, what you want to do, if it was a bad idea, you're gonna be able to tell it when you say it. Because when you go to say, hey, I was gonna say this is the question I wanted to ask, this is what I want to say. And as you saying that out loud, you're gonna say, you know what, that don't even make no sense. That is not smart. That is not the move to make. And then you're gonna be like, phew, I'm glad I waited. That's why in behavioral science, when you're dealing with certain type of people, they teach you to wait 1 to 24 hours before addressing an issue, to give that time to cool down, to get that cool down time. And that's what we have to remember. We got to use that in our own life. A lot of times we feel something and we're so impulsive. We want to speak on it right then and there. We want to jump right to it. And when you jump right to it, you're hot-headed. That's why the saying says cooler heads prevail. When you jump right to it and you hot-headed, you're gonna say some things and do some things that you shouldn't. And so I want you to think about this, because this is very important in your life. When you start to get this level of emotional intelligence and you start to work on yourself, and you working on your mental and your spiritual and your physical, and you doing the work. So now as you are growing and you're changing, you're also giving those around you and those who you know and love the grace and the room to grow and change. So this is important. It's very important, because we no longer want to be held captive and be in bondage to our past, to our mistakes, to our pain, our trauma, our fear. But we want to be set free and made new and made whole, so that we can live a fulfilling life. So think about this. Forgive yourself, forgive others, set yourself free, set them free, and give the grace and the room to grow and to change. Hey, this is Tony Gaskin. God bless you. Hopefully I get another video on out, but we will be in touch. We'll talk soon.